Hello, children. I am Kamakshi Arnayak, your English teacher. Welcome you to the English class of class 10th standard. Today, I'll be continuing the lesson Karna. In the previous class, we had come across the exhibiting of talents of Pandavas and Kauravas, and at the close of the day, Karna enters the arena and duplicated all Arjuna's feats with careless ease. Arjuna feels insulted and asks who he was. Kripacharya, well versed in single combat, asked to reveal the parentage of Karna. When Karna was in despair, Duryodhana comes to help and crowns him as the ruler of Anga and stands by his side. Thus, the friendship of Duryodhana and Karna begins. In today's class, we will know about two more incidents of Karna's life. Firstly, Karna's generosity, and secondly, Karna's curse. Note page number 133, children. Indra foresaw that the supreme contest was inevitable between his son Arjuna and Karna, and he put on the garb of a Brahmin and came to Karna, who was reputed for his charity, and begged to him his earrings and armor. The sun god had already warned Karna in dream that Indra would try to deceive him in this manner. Still, Karna could not bring himself to refuse any gift that was asked of him. Hence, he cut off the earrings and armor with which he was born and gave them to the Brahmana. Indra, the king of gods, was filled with surprise and joy. After accepting the gift, he praised Karna as having done what no one else would do and shamed into generosity. Bade Karna ask for any boon he wanted. Karna replied, I desire to get your weapon, the Shakti, which has the power to kill animals. Indra granted the boon, but with a fateful proviso. He said, you can use this weapon against but one enemy, and it will kill him whosoever he may be. But this killing done, this weapon will no longer be available to you, but will return to me. With these words, Indra disappeared. Moving on to the explanation. Karna or Radeya is highly generous. Lord Indra wanted to get the earrings, armor of Karna, which will enable the Pandavas to kill Karna without any difficulty. Karna had come to know about Indra's plan from Lord Surya. Even after knowing this, Karna donates its Chakundalas to Lord Indra without hesitation. Radheya, listen to me. Indra knows about your generous nature. He will come like an old man. He will ask you for Kavachakundalas. Do not give him. My beloved love, who are you? I am Surya. I want to you to live long. I am blessed to have you here. Why do you want me to refuse the alms? I will only be happy if I give others what they aspire. I am even willing to sacrifice my life. I love you, Radheya. No one can defeat you as long as you're wearing these kundalas. But once they are separated from your body, you can be defeated and killed. If I refuse Indra, I will be safe. But I will not be comfortable if I refuse alms to anyone. No one can change your charitable nature, but you do give away your Kavachakundalas. Ask Indra to give his weapon Shakti in return. To a certain extent, this weapon will make you up loss of your armor. And sun god disappears. He falls asleep. After a while, Indra comes in disguise as a Brahmana to the place where Karna is residing, enters the place and tries to call on Karna by calling Radheya, Radheya, and enters the place. After a while, Karna comes out. Seeing the Brahmana, Karna inquires as to why he had been. Brahmana says, "Will you give me what I ask for?" Karna, "Certainly. What do you need?" Brahmana, "I don't want assets, cows, or gold as other Brahmins do. I want only your Kavachakundala. Your request is strange. They cannot be removed from my body. I shall give you other armors and earrings which are costlier than those. I have heard about your generosity. I don't want anything else from you. If you are really as generous as you are reputed, cut them away and give me." Karna, "My lord, I know you are Indra. You know very well that I am been giving away my life. I am pleased and honored that Lord Indra is accepting a gift from me. I am proud to give you my life." And he takes up a knife and cuts off his armor and his earring and presents it to the Brahmin who was in disguise, Indra. Indra comes back to his original space and praises Radheya. "I have never seen a person like you. Lord Surya has intimated you about my coming. You know what you have happened if you give me these things to me. Yet you have given me your life. From today you will be called Karna. Ask me anything except my weapon Vajra." "My lord, to receive anything in return is not good. But I have decided to ask something from you. I request you for your weapon Shakti." Indra was pleased against Karna and blesses with the weapon Shakti. "Whether you win or lose, you will earn everlasting fame. You shall be remembered ever as the greatest donor of all time. I shall gladly give you my master weapon Shakti, but with the proviso that you can use this weapon against only one enemy. It will kill him, whosoever he may be. But as this killing is done, the weapon will no longer be available to you and it will return it to me." Saying this, Lord Indra disappears. On to the next incident. Karna went to Parashurama and became his disciple by representing to him that he was a Brahmana. He learnt of Parashurama the mantra for using the master weapon known as Brahmastra. One day, Parashurama was reclining with the head on Karna's lap when a stinging worm burrowed into Karna's thigh. Blood began to flow and the pain was terrible. But Karna bore it without tremor lest he should disturb the master's sleep. Parashurama awoke and saw the blood which had poured from the wound. He said, "Dear pupil, you are not a Brahmana. A Kshatriya alone can remain unmoved under all bodily torments. Tell me the truth." Karna confessed that he had told a lie in presenting himself as a Brahmana, and that he was in fact the son of a charioteer. Parashurama, in his anger, pronounced this curse on him: "Since you deceived your guru, the Brahmastra which you have learnt shall fail you at the fated moment. You will be unable to recall the invocatory mantra when your hour comes." Karna comes to know of Guru Parashurama and wants to join as his disciple. But Parashurama hates Kshatriyas and he takes a vow to teach only Brahmanas. Karna, without revealing his identity as a person of low caste, joins Guru Parashurama as a student. "Come here, my boy." As he goes near, asks him to throw a pole towards a statue, and Karna accepts. Karna practices in the initial stage. He is not able to aim at the statue, Guru asks him to try again with more and more concentration. After repeated practice, he was able to concentrate on the statue which was kept in front of him and aim at that statue. Seeing this, Guru was very happy and calls him for the practice of archery. A bird was kept in front of, and Guru had asked him to aim at the eye of the bird. Even here, after several practices, Karna was able to aim at the eye of the bird. After excelling in archery, Guru calls on to take the mace and fight with him. As the fight was going on between Guru and Shishya, new tricks were taught by the Guru to his disciple and asks him to take the sword so that he will be able to teach him the sword fighting. After the sword fight, Guru feels tired and calls Karna and asks him to stop the class and says, I am tired and I wish to take some rest. Karna suggests Guru to take rest under the tree. Both of them move towards the tree where they can take rest. Guru Parashurama sleeps under a tree and asks Karna, can I rest on your lap? For which Karna agrees. As Guru falls fast asleep, a stinging worm comes flying over there, sucking the nectar of flowers, and comes near Karna and sits on his thigh and starts stinging and sucking the blood. Karna thinks that this pain is unbearable, but I will not disturb my Guru. After sleep, Parashurama awakes and sees Karna's thigh and asks what had happened to him. For which Karna replies, when you were asleep, a bee bit my leg. For which Parashurama says, why you hadn't wake me up? How were you able to bear the pain? Only a Kshatriya can bear such a pain. Tell me the truth. Who are you? Tell me, and gets angry and shouts. Karna, I am the son of Adhiratha, a charioteer. I am a Sutaputra. Forgive me, Guru, and begs pardon. But Parashurama, I don't need any of your explanation. For deceiving me, you will forget all your skills when you need at the time. Parashurama, in his anger, pronounced the curse on Karna by saying, since you have deceived your Guru, the Brahmastra you have learnt shall fail you at the fated moment. You will be unable to recall the invocatory mantra when your hour comes. Assignment of the day. First one, why does Indra offer a boon to Karna? What is the boon? Second, what was Parashurama's curse? We'll know more about Karna in the next class. Until then, thank you, children.